I was sitting here talking about some of my experiences with people and things that I've learned about. I have learned through some of my lived experience, people will treat you differently when, in some way, unintentionally, they treat you differently because you trigger their insecurities. And it's not in anything you do, it's not in anything you say, although they will use things about you as leverage or as the excuse to justify their behavior, whatever feeling of indifference that they have. Really, it's just a manifestation of how they're feeling internally. And a lot of people don't know how to process that insecurity, especially if it leads to inferiority, or if it makes them have some self-realizations that they don't like, so they don't want to face. They have to find a way to project it on you, because most people don't like the negative feelings and emotions that they experience in those moments from being triggered. They're not going to say, oh, you trigger me, you're triggering my insecurities. They don't like those negative feelings and emotions to be associated with them. So they're going to project it on you. They're going to project it on the person that they feel triggered them. They're going to project it on the person that makes them feel inferior. They're going to project it on the person that made them feel insecure. They're going to project it on the person who made them see things about themselves that they didn't like. They're going to project it on the person that they may feel most threatened by, regardless of you if you've done anything or not. Don't take it to heart, because it can be easy to take stuff to heart, especially when you notice how they don't respond like that to the majority. It's pros and cons to that, because it helps you develop a new awareness to where you're like, okay, you take inventory of the environment and the people who are in that environment in a way to where you start assessing if it's a place where you want to be for a long period of time, or if you want to have the mindset of, okay, let me just learn what I need to learn here, and I don't want to have this type of experience, so I'm not going to stay in this type of space, or I'm not going to visit this space often, or I'm going to keep my distance from this particular person or these types of people. Like, it does teach you something. It gives you the opportunity to make a decision, to use those moments as lessons to decide how you want to proceed. What experiences do you want to have, and what are you willing to do to make sure you have better experiences? And then also, it teaches you a new level of patience with people, depending on what the environment is. Like, say if it's a co-working space, a working space, or a space where, or even in church, it's just a people thing. People are people. You have this realization that you're going to have to deal with certain aspects of the human race. And because everybody's imperfect people, we live in a fallen world, everybody has not done the work on themselves. And it shows you, depending on like what the environment is, if you have to be there for a long period of time, it's going to help you garner this new level of patience. It's going to also help you know how to respond to those moments with grace, and you're going to learn how to assert your boundaries more also. And that is going to teach you some things about yourself, to do those hard things, to not allow those moments to make you callous, but to grow you and mature you in a way that is the best thing. That's a flex. It's a flex. It's always a flex to be in environments where you know it's potentially toxic, or you've tolerated or just had to deal with toxicity from others, and you come out and you didn't allow it to change you. You didn't allow it to make you callous. You didn't allow yourself to be conformed to the ways, to the norms, to the statutes of the people in those environments that expected you to be like them. They expected you to turn into them before you left. They expected you to grow cold. They expected you to go back and forth. They expected you to allow yourself to get walked all over. They expected you to give up and not love yourself. They expected you to be everything that they would be, tolerate what they tolerate, deal with what they dealt with, or become like them. And you didn't. That's a flex. Like, that's really a flex. If you do, like, for me, even if I do some introspection on some of the things that I have encountered or endured in life, it's like, dang, it's really a flex not to allow those moments, those hard moments, those difficult moments, the toxic moments, the toxic spaces, to not change you. And yes, it is going to take some work on your part. It's going to require a little bit of like diligence and acknowledgement and accountability and intentionality, because you can easily just be like, forget it, I'm gonna just be like you all, forget it. It's easy for you to give up. It's easy for you to be like, I'm gonna be cold and forget everything. Like, it's easy to do that, but it takes a different level of diligence and work to remain unbothered and to essentially not allow the hard things in life to change you for the worse, but to allow them to change you for the better. It is a fight. I will leave with that small caveat. I will leave with that small caveat. It is going to require some work. It's going to require some intentionality. When I say you better pray, you better learn how to pray. And the first thing you have to learn how to do when you deal with difficult people, when you've had difficult experiences, you have to learn how to forgive quickly. And that may be easier said than done, depending on the level of betrayal. You have to learn how to forgive quickly. Forgive them. Because if you don't, then you're going to allow that to consume you, and that will change you in the long run. For anyone who hasn't had, especially younger generation, as a lot of the Gen Zers, I know a lot of them have already integrated into like corporate life and corporate spaces and into general public in the society. You're going to notice the world ain't always, rainbows and butterflies. Everybody not going to like you. The requirement may be for you to run 2 miles, and you may decide in your own self, I'm going to run the extra mile and go 3. But somebody somewhere is still going to talk about how you didn't run 4. And they probably can't even run 2. You cannot let those people get to you. You can't let them get to you. Because if you do, you're going to be just like them. That's all I have for today. Thank you for watching this video. I will see you next time. Bye.